right, everybody, man. Day after, I'm going to talk about this game, man. Vikings, Broncos. We lose this game 21-20. I mean, listen, there is things that are frustrating, right? Like, the obvious one is we are definitely the better football team, okay? So it's always frustrating when you're playing a team like the Broncos and you clearly see that we have the better team, and that's even without our star wide receiver. That's even with a Josh Dobbs, And I want to start it out like this, man. I'm not going to blame Josh Dobbs for this game, all right? He had mistakes, but he also made up for some of them too. Great throw down the seam to Josh Oliver. He ran in for a touchdown. Great throw down the field to TJ Hawkinson wide open, that read, man. I was seeing a lot of him being in the pocket, being calm, cool, and collective. And I'm going to tell you, at the end of the game, the offensive line did him no justice, all right? The same things that we'll talk about with Kirk Cousins when we'll say, hey, the offensive line wasn't giving him time. It's not his fault. Well, I think this game is pretty similar when you're talking about Josh Dobbs. And I know the fan base is, he finally lost. So we finally got to see Josh Dobbs walk off the field with his head down after a loss, because we had this kind of, fairy tale story going on here. Cinderella story, shall you say. But, man, Josh Dobbs was 20 for 32, 221 yards, 1 TD, and 1 interception. Now, that interception was, you could blame it on him. He shouldn't have thrown it, but he also got hit. I think if he didn't get hit, that ball would have got out a little quicker and maybe would have reached his target. But neither here nor there, man. You can't give the opposing team short fields like that. And I think that was the issue majority of the night, right? We were driving downfield and just giving up the ball. That first play with Josh Dobbs, and you got TJ Hawkinson under center, and you run a sweep with your quarterback, there's a couple things that's wrong with it. And yes, the referees missed the call. That was targeting. The man came flying in with his head down. But there's a couple things wrong with that play. For one, it was ugly, all right? The dressing was ugly. You hear me? Like, you ain't fooling anybody with that. For two, you're putting your quarterback at risk to get injured. Do you want Nick Mullins to come in? I mean, we're liking what we're seeing with Dobbs. At least I am right now. So I'm okay with, looking at Josh Dobbs out there in purple being a starting quarterback as far as I'm concerned. Now, yes, Jaron Hall's in the winds waiting, but in the shadows waiting. But listen, man, Josh Dobbs is definitely not the sole blame of this game. But I'm going to tell you, man. Listen, hopefully Kevin O'Connell, I think we learned this last night. Kevin O'Connell hopefully realizes that we have a star on the football team. Who is that? That's Ty Chandler, man. I mean, this is obvious. Listen, I said this in the last game that we even won. All right, that Alexander Mattison, to me, is a drive killer, man. He just doesn't have it, okay? Like, he's a running back. I get that. And last night, 18 carries for 81 yards, 4.5 yards a carry, which that's fire, though. Like, I ain't gonna lie. Like, you know what I mean? Like, that's a good game for a running back, but there was a lot of runs in there where you can just see he just doesn't have it, man. He doesn't give that effort, and then that fumble came. And that fumble, when me and SK were on live watching the game, I said, bro, that fumble right there, that was the game killer right there. That's what cost the game. Even though it happened, and I know Kevin O'Connell came on and said, hey, the fumble happened, but we had plenty of opportunities to overcome that, but you couldn't. You couldn't overcome it because it had something to do with taking the momentum and just taking the drive out of your team because you were there. You were there. Like, that score right there would have put the nail in the coffin. And Josh Dobbs mentioned that too. All right. But let's look at Ty Chandler. 10 carries for 73 yards. 7.3 yards a carry, man. 7.3 yards a carry, man. Like, I don't understand what is so hard to see as a coaching staff for the Minnesota Vikings that number 32 is the running back one. He is the best running back. All right. Now, I know I've been seeing on Twitter, and I gotta point this out, where they're saying it's more than just running the ball because he can't block, he can't pick up. Bruh, did you not watch the game? Like, I seen Ty Chandler pick up a hell of a damn block, especially and what was it? It was that big play that happened to TJ Hawkinson down the sideline. Big throw from Dobbs. All right. Ty Chandler knocked that rusher right out of the damn frame. You hear me? I've seen Alexander Mattison miss blitz block after blitz block. Go back and watch the first 4 games of the season. You're not going to tell me that Ty Chandler is that much worse than Alexander Mattison when it comes to picking up blitzes. It's not that, okay? I know it's not that. What it is Kevin O'Connell just has something about Alexander Mattison. He loves him, all right? Kevin O'Connell, I've always said this, gives me feelings of, hey, I'm your friend. Hey, you've been with the team. I'm going to make sure you get some PT. He's nice. He's nice. And this is when it comes in and costs you. Because remember when he said he was going to hold players accountable if they fumble the ball and stuff like that? Well, after Alexander Mattison did that, they put him right back in. And you got a guy on your roster that's getting 7.3 yards a damn pop. It just makes no sense, man. That's the one main thing from last night's game that was frustrating. But all in all, our boys' fault, man. Our boys' fault. You know what I'm saying? The Vikings, they went out there and they did their thing. You got to think they were on the road. Josh Dobbs on the road, hostile crowd. And we only lost by 1 point. There was opportunities, of course, but it is what it is. We're still in good shape. All right, so we're still in good shape. And I'm excited to see us go back to the bank. We're playing the Bears. And I'm going to tell you right now, the Bears didn't look too bad yesterday, man, against the Lions, man. They put up a good fight. It's a division game. Well, we got to fight these guys too, man, in the bank. So we're going to see. Last time we played the Bears, it came down to damn near, 2 points or something like that. So, it's going to be a game, man. We can't drop 2 in a row, that's for sure, if we want to stay in this driver's seat to make the playoffs. But, defense. I can see, y'all know I'm Pace Gang. I could see that the Hicks injury definitely had some effect last night. I don't think it made that much of a problem, but you could definitely tell the difference. Ivan Pace did what he can do, man. A game of inches, man. That last drive where he stripped the ball and the ball happened to roll out of bounds, man. If you're in 2 more feet, that's a turnover. We win the game. There was opportunities there, man. Pace almost won us the game. You feel me? But it's just, man, Mekhi Blackman allowing that touchdown that really sealed the deal. That was, I felt like you should have punched the ball a little harder, be a little more aggressive right there, man. You know what I mean? He's more of a finesse cornerback where he's going to get probably like the fancy interceptions and stuff. I can see that throughout his career. But you got to be more aggressive and punch that rock, man. Like kind of like what Justin Simmons was doing to TJ Hawkinson on the last 2-minute drive for us, man. Every time TJ was getting the ball, man, he was hitting it hard and making sure that TJ couldn't possess the rock. You know what I'm saying? So those are things that he's going to have to work on. But we know that he's a rookie. He's going to have to do that, man. But all in all, man, the Vikings fall. Hey, look, man, we're 6-5. It's one of those things where we're still in the driver's seat, though, surprisingly, though. We're still in the driver's seat. We didn't get blown out, had opportunities to win. It is what it is. On to the next one, man. Let me know how y'all feel about the game, man. At the end of the day, man, shout out Brian Flores. Shout out this defense because they keep us in these things, man. They keep us in these things, man. Daniil Hunter, they keep it going, man. So, hey, we got a team, man. I'm not too frustrated. I'm just frustrated about the running back position, and that's the main thing. Appreciate y'all tapping in. Holla at your boy.
Yeah. Smooth summer. Who running? I hear them talking, but they ain't gonna do nothing. Celebration, I might have a toast with you. I'm feeling good, I'm feeling great, I'm terrific. We ain't taking no losses, we winning. Undefeated, check the percentage.